5 worst decisions on Shark Tank. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Filmtastic. Not everybody manages to catch a shark, but sometimes they still come out on top. There are some wonderful deals that sharks missed and still regret. On the other hand, the sharks also made a few deals and investments that didn't end well. After all, these sharks are not real, and they are bound to make mistakes. Today, we will be looking at 5 worst decisions that the sharks definitely regret. Gayla Bentley Fashion. Gayla Bentley Fashion is a modern women's wear for modern women sizes 12 through 28. It sounds like a promising idea, right? Well, where is it now? Gayla walked into the tank a little bit late in the first season and instantly connected with Damon and Barbara, who have climbed aboard for a 50% stake in the company at $250,000. All three worked together after the show and getting everything in order to begin their partnership. Eventually, Gayla received the investment, and that was it. The idea was to get a few brick-and-mortar locations out there, but instead, it was Gayla who was out of there. Barbara and Damon explained she got the investment, and neither he nor Barbara ever heard from Gayla again. The website she would use to push the project has not even been touched since 2010. Couldn't this be considered theft? It definitely looks like that to me. Toy Guru. Anytime you ask Mark and Kevin that, what was the first investment they made? It would be Toy Guru. Considering themselves to be the Netflix of toys, Toy Guru's business model allowed customers to rent toys by the month for their children. Considering how kids, of course, get tired of the toys rather quickly nowadays, the business was a phenomenal idea. With that in mind, Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary sought an opportunity and offered $200,000 for a 35% equity stake in the company. Only a year after receiving the deal, the company was filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in early April 2012. That's so interesting to mention because the company wrote on its website that they would have to temporarily pause the service due to a higher than expected demand. The company was officially closed in 2016, with more than $500,000 down the drain. Mark and Kevin named it their worst investments up to date. It was a great concept, and the numbers seemed promising, but sadly they proved unable to execute, even with names like Mark and Kevin behind it. It is really a sad story. The cell helmet. Even billionaires sometimes drop their phones. To avoid the problem of smashed phone screens, David Artuso and Mike Kane came up with an idea for a tougher phone case. These two aspiring young entrepreneurs also offered a guaranteed repair or replacement if the phone broke while within the case. Unfortunately, the sharks were not biting, but David and Mike didn't lose hope, and they predicted that bigger companies with larger budgets would pounce on the idea. As soon as the cell helmet became big, it didn't take long for the investors to scatter. But upon arriving home, the two founders immediately discovered that their inbox was filled with offers from other investors. These days, Cell Helmet can be purchased at over 3,000 wireless stores across the United States. This was a pretty obvious and great idea. I am really surprised by the sharks' decision to let it go. Copa de Vino. Here's an entrepreneur so confident in his product that he not only managed to get onto the show twice, but he also refused offers both times. During his 2 separate appearances on the show and pitching his wine by the glass concept, James Martin butted heads with the sharks. Experiencing a flood of sales and exposure after both his first and second appearances, Martin grew the company to the point where he was making over $25 million in revenue. Kevin O'Leary has called Martin the one that got away, and we can imagine that nowadays, wine might taste a little less sweet to Mr. Wonderful. Sweet Ballz. Sweet Ball's pitch was a total roller coaster filled with doubt from the Sharks. But still, James McDonald and Nicole Eggers somehow managed to pull out a $250,000 investment from Mark Cuban in exchange for 25% of the delicious cake ball company. While the Sharks were bickering amongst themselves, it made it that much more difficult to realize that these two business partners also didn't see eye to eye on everything. This eventually led to a lawsuit after the episode being aired due to a parent breaching contract. Things got even messier for Mark and the Sweet Bunch when the Sweet Ballz website was rigged to redirect visitors to cakeballs.com, which Eggers controlled. That, compiled with a few other instances, led to McDonald asking for a restraining order against Egger. This eventually caused Mark to withdraw from the deal. Shitty negative light on the business, perhaps making it the most embarrassing outcome on the show yet. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.